This is a response to Sebastian Seng's request for a tutorial for a few notes for Flora. It's an instrumental piece that I've written. There's a shortened version of it available that he heard on internet radio in Germany, amazingly, and there's actually a longer version which I've done, but I haven't released a recording of. I'm hoping to before the end of this year, and that's what I'm going to be doing the tutorial for today. So if you want to hear the tune first, you can look it up on iTunes. I will be trying to get one up on Soundcloud or Bandcamp or something soon as well. But in the meantime, here's how it's actually played. The tuning is D, A, D, G, B, and then D again. So it's just effectively a double drop D. Both the E strings have been dropped down to D. So that's the tuning that we're using. And the first shape at the beginning of the song, I'm on the 5th fret with the E, effectively the drop D and the A string there, pressing them there with my little finger and my ring finger, and then my middle finger is on the G string on the 4th fret, and that gives us this. And then for the second shape, I'm keeping these two fingers where they are, and I'm moving my middle finger and putting it on the D string instead. And then I'm taking my index finger, it's a bit of a stretch, but that's going to the G string on the 2nd fret. Okay. And then the third shape is much simpler. It's a lot like playing an A chord because it's these three fingers, index, middle and ring finger going on across the bottom 3 strings on the 2nd fret. And then the next bit's very easy, just release the index and the ring fingers. You leave the middle finger on. Okay. Then the next one is index finger, 3rd fret on the A string, and ring finger, 4th finger, is on the 5th fret on the bottom string there, the bottom D. I've got to remember, yeah. That's right. Okay, and then I release the bottom string with the 4th finger and place the middle finger on the 4th fret of the D string. Which then brings us back round to the beginning, only this time it's just these 2 fingers that I'm using, back on the 5th fret on the bottom 2 strings. So that whole first section in one go. So you have that first passage goes like that, and then I repeat that first passage again, only this time I'm throwing in occasionally with the right hand. I don't know how to begin to tell you what I'm doing with my right hand because I just do these things sort of by ear, but hopefully it should be sort of fairly obvious once you've got the shapes. So I'm sorry I can't be any more helpful than that. not normally asked by people how I play stuff. So so the second time through, playing the same thing, but catching the top two strings there. And I should probably mention as well, on the transfer between, we have that then, and before I go to the third shape, I quite often hit the bottom D, and it gives you like a passing note in between. And then that brings us on to the really pretty bit with the harmonics. So that starts up on this, what, the 10th fret, isn't it? Index finger on the A string. And then using my little finger, I'll catch the harmonics on the 12th fret on the top two strings. And then I'll slide the index finger down one fret. The same ones again on the harmonics, and then it's down to 7th fret, and I tend to use my 4th finger for this, my ring finger, and then slide down back to using my pinky, and then no. And then 3rd fret, index finger, and we're catching the harmonics on the 5th fret. Stretch it down to the 2nd fret, and then that's first two fingers on the bottom two strings on the 2nd fret. That slides up to, which is separating the two out, so I've got my index finger on the 4th fret and my middle finger on the 5th fret, and then I just bring my index finger up to join that one, so it's playing it very well, but hopefully you're getting the idea. So that's actually that's all of the bits that are on the recording that Sebastian has heard, which is available now for any others of you who want to go and have a listen to it. But there is actually another section which was left out of that particular copy. Just a kind of a little interlude bit. It starts off with this shape, which is one of those kind of C chord variants, isn't it? So I've got my index finger on the 2nd fret on the D string, middle finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, and my 4th or ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. And then what I do is I slide that up. So it slides up, and I've got middle finger on the 7th fret of the A string, index finger on the 5th fret of the D string, and my 4th finger on the 7th fret of the B string. So we do a few of those. And then there's just that little touch on and off of the little finger there above, so that's going onto the B string. I don't know how well you can see this on my computer. I know the lighting's not very good and my webcam's pretty poor, but anyway. Does the job, hopefully. And then I do one more of those, and it's slightly different this time because I slide up. So now what we've got here is middle finger, 5th fret, A string, index finger, 4th fret, D string, ring finger, 5th fret, G string, and the B and D strings, as they are now, or normally B and E. I'm fretting both of them at the 7th with my little finger. So the whole of that passage in one go. Okay, and then it goes back to the beginning again. Then it goes back to the beginning again. So these 3. And then I finish with the first chord again. Okay, well, hopefully that will have been enough to help you get your head around it yourself. In the meantime, I'll just play the whole thing through once more, so you can hear it as a complete piece and maybe play along once you've worked out the shapes for yourself.